We're Back, A Dinosaur Story is a lighthearted movie about friendly dinosaurs who love cereal and parades. Until it's not. It quickly turns into a dark film involving a villain who literally specializes in fear.
That's the bad guy.
Today, we're asking the question, how did our parents think this was a kid's movie? And does it still have that prehistoric fun today?
No, you were great.
Plus, will Seth stump me on this episode's trivia question? Or do I have a brain made of grain?
True or false, some say actor John Malkovich was deemed too frightening as a villain and was let go being recasted for this.
Finally, we'll answer the most important question. How are we going to rate it? Are you going to take it home? Are you going to watch it at Grandma's? Or are you going to hide it in the attic? So roll back the rock and sing this song with me. It's time to watch another movie at Grandma's. Hello, please come in. There's some fresh cookies in the cookie jar. There's a pitcher of Kool-Aid on the counter. Make yourself comfortable. Welcome to Movies at Grandma's House, where we love to revisit the movies from our childhood to answer the question, does it still hold up? And is it family-friendly enough that even Grandma can enjoy? And I'm your host, Isaac. Seeing you guys is making me doubt my brain.
And I'm Seth. Louie, I'm scared.
It is great to see you, Seth. I think this is going to be a fun one. Cannot wait to get into it. But as a reminder for our listeners at home, what is Grandma putting on for us to watch today?
We are watching We're Back, A Dinosaur Story.
So if you have never seen this movie, maybe never even heard of it before, consider going forward. Spoiler territory, you have been warned. Well, let's jump right into this, Seth. Let's get some more information about this movie and some film facts. So We're Back, A Dinosaur Story was released back on November 24th, 1993. It had a budget of $20 million, but the box office was $9.3 million. Looking around at some reviews, it's at a 6 out of 10 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes, 40%. Letterboxd has a 2.5 out of 5. Currently, as of this recording, it is not streaming free anywhere, so you're going to have to rent or buy or find that old VHS tape from a friend. It stars John Goodman, Rena Lee Vant, Jay Leno, Martin Short, and many more. It's in association with Amblin Entertainment and Universal Pictures. And last but not least, we got to hear, how does Grandma feel about this one?
Granny's family-friendly rating for We're Back, A Dinosaur Story is a D+ for frightening imagery.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about that because you would probably not expect it on the surface looking at this film, but we're going to dissect it and really break it down. It's going to be a good one, folks. Cannot wait. If you have seen this film and you want to share your thoughts and memories, share them down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts and your ratings for the film. Well, Seth, again, 1993, this was released. I got to know, what are your first memories with this film?
So I'm very sure that I have never seen this all the way through. So
Really?
Yeah, it was completely fresh.
Wow. We'll maybe talk about it more. It does feel like this is an overlooked movie. Maybe to me, it felt like it was everywhere. Going back to my first memories, I remember the ads everywhere for this one. And you're talking, this was 1993. It feels like that was the year of the dinosaur. You have, obviously, blockbuster Jurassic Park coming out that year. This was marketed like a kid's version. And whether that is a kid's version or not, we'll talk about it more. But from the ads, I remember seeing like Rex on the car, he's skateboarding. That was really heavy in the marketing. But I don't remember owning this. It was more at like a friend's house or just in passing, maybe in the store. I do recall seeing it from start to finish, but more in bits and pieces. And it had been years since I had seen this one. So with that in mind, this is a fresh take for you. I got to know too, what was your expectations coming and watching this?
Honestly, they weren't too high.
Maybe that's the right approach with this one. We'll get into it more, but it's like, I don't know how to really phrase, like, if you've never seen it before. I mean, it gives the premise of these dinosaurs, but my expectation was, again, it'd been years since I'd seen this. So I'm like, I hope it's a good time. I hope my kids can enjoy this one. And, you know, that the whole dinosaurs, it usually appeals to kids. So it might be something they like, but I'm with you. I didn't try to put too much expectations on this one because I'll be frank, I kind of forgot about this one. So it was kind of fresh coming back to it. Well, before we get into the plot rewind, let's pause just a moment to hear from our sponsors. Do you love movies as much as we do? Then you're going to love this. Bring the theater experience home to your walls with movieposters.com. Whether you're into the classics, those big blockbusters, or even the hidden indie gems, they have such a big selection that will please every movie fan. And as a listener of our podcast, you can save up to 15% on your order right now. Just use code Grandma's House at checkout. So head on over to movieposters.com and let's help you build your ultimate collection today. All right, so let's take the VHS out of the cupboard. Let's put it in the VCR and press play.
And we're back at Dinosaur Story. It starts with a scientist who travels back in time and feeds some dinosaurs a special cereal, making them very intelligent. He takes a few to modern-day New York City. On the other hand, the scientist's brother wants to use these dinos to scare people, especially children. In this short story, we go for a dark ride. You may want to watch this one before putting it on for your kiddos. Granny's going to jump out of her seat for this horrifying animated film.
I like that. Oh, yes. Where do we begin with this one? This is, I have to say, my impression is it is selling you a dinosaur story. It's in the title. And it's all fun. They're friendly. They're wanting to be friends with humans. Like you brought out with the plot, the scientist is bringing them back so that kids can have them as a friend. But, oh my goodness, it just does a 180 and pulls the rug out from under you on the second act. And it's like, wow, that's all I got to say with impressions. I got to know, what's your impressions as you're watching this one?
So I'm just about speechless. When I say it's like the darkest, like the dark movie, it may be the biggest understatement I've ever made. So spoiler, the ending of this movie is crazy horror style, and the ending strictly is made for scaring children. So that's just a heads up PSA for everyone. We'll talk about it at length, I'm sure. But just as a warning, this is coming at you live.
That's a great way to put it. It leaves you kind of speechless if you're expecting more of this, like, for the family, because I find we say that was dark a lot. Like you said, that's not an understatement here. Like, that is the absolute description, what you say, of this movie.
It starts out like very lighthearted, I would say, and then very quickly takes a turn and never really goes back, if you could say that. Yeah.
No, it really doesn't. And that's what's kind of a shocker. It leaves you, like you said, speechless if you're watching it with children. I'll get to our kid test because we do that towards the end. But just put simply, as a parent, in my experience, this was one of the cringiest and hardest movies to get through with my children because it was really intense. And the villain, that's what it is. It's this villain that is just the, whatever you want to call it, everything fear. And they go there. Like, they're not, like, kind of muting a little bit. Like, this was realistic. And that's where it was like, whoa. Just, again, I'm speechless is the only thing I can say. With that in mind, getting back to the story and the premise, I mean, we can bring out the good. We're definitely going to get to the dark part. I know for sure. That's what we're really going to expound on. But getting back to the story, other than that, or if you want to bring out more, what did you think of the plot?
So really, there's way too much going on in this one. But the very beginning of the movie had a good premise. But it took too many turns and unfortunately got too dark, as we always say dark, for these animated pictures we watch.
Yes. I mean, again, we say that, but my gosh, it's just, it really pulls the rug out from under you.
This doesn't even begin to explain it.
No. I mean, it starts out where it kind of makes you suspend belief a little bit. This dinosaur is playing golf at the beginning, which coming back to it feels off. I mean, it's John Goodman, so I enjoy hearing his voice as Rex. He's the main dinosaur, kind of the scene stealer, if you want to say that. And yeah, the scientist, he's able to time travel. He's able to make this cereal that makes these dinosaurs once savage, feral, now friendly, and just, yay, let's have fun kind of style with the cereal. And can hear people's dreams or what they want. So it's kind of crazy when you break it all down. Like, why is this guy just not sitting on a beach sipping on a drink? Because he could have sold all that stuff for a fortune and picked what time he wanted to stay in. I don't know. It doesn't explain it. And that's where you just kind of throw it out the window. Like, okay, but it misleads you. It's like, we're going to have a fun time with this. And yes, that's the kind of the plot, the little twist of watch out for my brother. Oh boy, his brother is messed up. That's all I got to say. Like, it is so screwed up. His name is Captain Screweyes. And it's like, he's just screwed up. I mean, like you said, where do you begin? It's all happy. And then they get separated and the kids are forced into this circus of fear and the dinosaurs revert back to their savage ways. And there's some intense parts. That's why we say it's so dark. I mean, it's a dark circus and he almost gets eaten I mean, what else do you want to touch on? I'm going all over the place. Like you said, this plot is so filled. Yeah.
In research, it's not a fun fact. I found there's a couple deleted scenes. I didn't watch them, thankfully, that were very graphic.
Really?
And they could not keep a G rating, so they took them out. And they really wanted the G rating. And I don't know how this movie got a G. I mean, we should talk about that for a second.
I was just about to say,
today's standards, I think it would be PG-13. I really do. I honestly do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's like even, I know some kind of get away with it because they don't show blood. There is blood in this. And if you want to get technical, but the intensity, it just dials it up. And my problem with it is just, this is supposed to be for kids.
Yes.
And I'll bring out my children. I mean, they were confused. They were just like, what's going on? And that's where the cringe factor came in for me. Because it's like, how do I explain this one? They're like, why is there monsters flying around and doing all this stuff in a circus? And I'm like, it's just an illusion, you know, and it is. Like, it's the other thing to look at. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with the comics. Like, I was thinking Spider-Man and Mysterio is one of his, you know, villains. He uses illusions. So that's what he's kind of doing. It's a circus of fear, but it's just, again, really adult, mature, and how they do it.
Yes.
So, yeah, I agree. I don't know how I got a G rate. I really don't.
They bribed somebody. I mean,
something. Back then, it was so different, too. Like, yeah, today, I think you would see this a PG, even a PG-13, possibly, like at least a PG, for sure.
I would rate it PG-13 myself.
It was, yeah. I mean, it was kind of graphic. And the, you know, ending, we've already said spoilers, but when it comes to Captain Screweyes, his demise is pretty out there. What did you think of that scene?
I mean, it's hard to peg one scene to being the scariest. I mean, there's so many crazy elements to this movie. It's like they pile onto each other, and it's like it forges into one crazy movie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't know how to explain some of these scenes. I can't do it.
It was just like creepy because it turns out, you know, Captain New Eyes is his brother, the good one. They're pretty much like identical brother twins that they look like, but he comes and gets the dinosaurs back because they rescue him because they turn savage, and he's that's what was so scary too. It's like unbuckling Rex and he's savage, and then he almost gets eaten. And it's just like, whoa, are they going to go there? Like, that's what I think makes it so intense, is you don't know what's going to happen. Normally in those types of movies. And that was
the deleted scene.
Oh my
God. They showed that, so.
Oh, wow.
I guess he lost an eye and.
Oh my gosh. This is terrible.
It's not good, people.
Wow. I mean, it's a little bit better, but his actual demise, and the ending is it's just creepy because his brother's like, you can come with us, and he just kind of scoffs it off. And as they're flying away, you can see there's regret in his eyes of like, don't leave me. And he was about to say something, but he let it go. And then that's where he's like, I don't like to be alone. And these crows that he has in this circus, that's what's so crazy. It's just so, it makes your skin crawl. These crows just swarm him and eat him. And all that's left is his screws. Now, it's not graphic. I wonder if, like you're saying, there's a deleted scene where that's more graphic. I don't want to know, but it's like, wow, that's all I can really say. I mean, he gets eaten by, it was a Disney-style death. It felt forced, and it was just there to shock. That's all, honestly, how I felt afterward. It didn't give you a good feeling afterward. But with that said, we touched on a few of the characters. We got to the plot there. What did you think of the characters? And we can bring in some maybe more lighthearted stuff if you want. Feel free to.
So what I had written down was that John Goodman was just about the only sustainable thing in this story. I really did appreciate the side characters, the dinosaur voices, the voiceover work. I've got a fun fact about one of them. Nobody really hit me hard besides John Goodman with their voiceover work in this one. And I don't mean that to be offensive or rude towards some of their work. It's just, it's what stuck with me.
Yeah. I think it goes back to what you were saying. This plot is so complicated. It really is. I mean, it's not like you can't follow it, but there's just a lot going on. And like Julia Child is this person that they're supposed to meet, because what they're ultimately doing is they're going to go to this time period. Like we were saying, he time travels. It's like middle history. And the dinosaurs are going to go to the Museum of Natural History. This woman's supposed to meet him. Julia Child's there. I thought she did a great job. I like that. But like you're saying, it's not memorable because she gets lost in the plot. She's just kind of there randomly. If you're paying attention, you'll notice. But I agree, John Goodman's really the only one because you recognize his voice, and they're obviously putting a lot of tension on Rex It feels like T-Rex was kind of that popular dinosaur, so I understand what they were doing with it. But yeah, this isn't like bad voice acting. I think it's more the material. Obviously, it's this weird plot. It gets lost in there, unfortunately. So I agree with you. It's no disrespect, but this isn't anything to write home about when it comes to the characters. Nobody really sticks out. The kid that's supposed to be their friend, Louis, he's just kind of a little brat. Like, I didn't really find his character that fun. He wasn't terrible, but I mean, nothing stands out about him. And then his like friend, she's got this little crush on him or whatever. She's just, I feel bad for her. Her parents left her alone. Like, did you notice that? They just left her alone in New York.
I don't want to touch on the kids stuff because if you think about it, it's kind of like they're runaways and nobody's looking for them or anything. It's kind of crazy.
It is. Yeah. When you think about it, he's on a boat to start and that's when they crash in and it's like, where's his parents? So it's kind of sad. Like you said, you don't want to think about it. These aren't characters you really want to relate to. You hopefully don't. And it's just, I don't know. There's something off about this movie from start to finish, but they also got in their own way. It's like, it was really clunky to start. And then obviously with that big, just dark element. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. There's this dark circus. It's almost gothic in a way in Central Park. That was my other question. I'm like, why is this circus in the middle of Central Park and all this weird stuff he's doing? I'm waiting for like a government agency to be knocking on the tent. Like, what are you guys doing in there?
Men in Black.
Yeah. It just, I don't know. It's just, it really fell off between the plot, the characters, obviously the elements we've talked about.
Yeah.
It just, unfortunately, this one was, I got to say, one of those films that really surprised me. We've had some movies where I've come back to and I'm like, wow, this is not how I remembered. This takes the cake. I'm not going to be surprised if I even go back and check, but I can say right now, like this takes the cake of most surprised experience coming back to for sure in my experience. But yeah, anything else? Any scenes or things to touch on?
A couple things made me think of when you were talking about it. So this was based on a book and like it begs the question, who thought that was a good idea to make into a movie? Like who greenlit that idea? That's like so dark. And I hear it was even darker than the movie.
Really?
So like how did they think this is going to translate to an audience of children? I don't know.
Oh, that makes me kind of concerned because I'm thinking when you're saying that, like, well, maybe the book isn't as bad as the film.
No, it was worse. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? That's crazy.
I got a quote in the scene I liked. So we can talk about quotes for a second. So the only one that I really stuck out to me was I kind of liked the way they said it was, "Be careful, will ya? I can't be saving you every 2 minutes." I thought that was cute. I guess it's one of the more lighthearted things of the movie, even though it's kind of a darker moment. It's still like lighthearted.
Yeah.
I like that quote. Was there any quotes that you liked?
I couldn't really keep up with the quotes. As soon as I was starting to really get into it, that's when that big twist came in.
Yeah.
I want to say there's more slapstick in the beginning.
Yes.
When they're in New York and the parade's going on, there's actually some fun there. I mean, it's silly. It's not anything, again, memorable. But my kids were actually giggling at some parts, like the guy's robbing a bank and it's the Triceratops. He comes through. He got some sausage from a store he went through before that. And the robber gets thrown into the police department and then the sausage goes on a hot dog stand. Like, that was fun. That was what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like, by the time I was really getting invested, I guess, because it was a slow start. Like I said, it felt clunky. Then that big dark circus of fear and nightmares appeared. And it was just like, wow. So unfortunately, I probably should have paid a little more attention. I do feel like there was a quote or two I thought that were pretty funny, but unfortunately, it kind of like wiped my memory of all.
I'm right there with you. I really am. There was
really
a scene I did like when you mentioned it with the parade. There was just a lot going on. So you see different reactions to the dinosaurs. Like at first, they think they're robots, and they think that's cool. Which is really well done. I think they did that really well, especially for like, what was it, 93, and they probably did the animation in 92. It just takes a break from most of the heaviness of the film. Even though that scene gets heavier, it's still like a nice little humor break at the beginning of the scene, and I like that. So that was cool.
Yeah. I feel like, the first act, it's really messy. It's kind of this weird start to a movie, and then it feels like
clunky.
It's going to... Yeah, it feels like it's starting to build momentum, and that's where the fun is when they're in New York and interacting with people and stuff. It's silly, but it's, again, what you kind of think of with a family-friendly movie with dinosaurs. You got to suspend your belief a little bit. And the animation, that's a positive. I mean, we've been kind of talking about the dark things. The part where they're in New York and like the poster, that's nostalgia to me, is seeing that poster. It's a really well animated film. And in the poster, I love that design. I actually like the animation style of this on the lighter side of things. But unfortunately, yeah, it's literally getting shadowed by the dark elements. So I have to keep coming back to it. It's like, man, you shake your head about it. But I do, if I want to throw a positive, I do think James Horner had a good soundtrack. There was parts in the movie where I felt the soundtrack kind of aided that scene. It kind of gave that an emotional punch. So
I have a fun fact for that. I'll just spoil it now. So I guess the composer had different artists do different scores for this film, and he kind of like chose like out of 3 of them different scenes from each composer.
Interesting.
So whoever was the supervisor or whatever, that was interesting that they did that, because that's not normal. You usually make a contract with one composer. The composer does the work. If they don't like it, they redo the work or they fire them. They purposely chose 3 different people to do the music, and they pick and choose which songs to use, which I thought was really cool.
I could tell then. So like I said, it just seemed like it matched the scene. So if they had choices, there's probably it felt more custom, more tailored to that scene.
Yeah,
so,
and I like that. I thought that was neat.
Yeah, that is a cool fun fact. I mean, there's some little glimpses in this movie, and then I was one that I liked dinosaurs growing up, so maybe that's what it was. As I was younger, I really liked the dinosaur aspect of it. It's one of those, I really want the positive to shine more. There's some little elements in there I could see the appeal of maybe what they thought of when they were going to make this film, and who knows, they went back to the book on those darker elements. I don't know. I'm afraid to kind of do research on what the book is about now, but
I don't want to know.
No, I don't.
It's going to spoil what good parts of the movie.
That's how I'm feeling about it. So, okay. Well, you gave us a little tease, a little appetizer of fun facts. So what else do you got?
All right. So our first fun fact, official fun fact, is Jay Leno provided the voice for Vorb, but did the voice over 3 years before the movie hit theaters. And back then, that was kind of unusual. Usually, it would be like a year and a half, 2 years. This was 3 years he did the voiceover work before it was released. So that's quite a long time before seeing the final, outcome.
Yeah. I wonder if it's because of his schedule being late night back then and stuff, or it's like, hey, let's get this out of the way, let's go for it. I don't know.
Also, in the Times Square scene, you can see advertisements for Jurassic Park. Now, I came across 2 of them. I don't know if there's any more or not, but they actually advertised Jurassic Park in the film. So I thought that was cool.
Yes, it's Universal, so same studio. I wonder if they just were like, we're totally going dinosaur because we know Jurassic Park's going to be this big hit.
Yeah.
But I caught that, and that is the little things I liked and enjoyed, the little things, nods. And it just hit me in the nostalgia, obviously, because you just had to be there in the 90s. That was just huge. So seeing like a real life theater, I think it was a theater, had like a now showing Jurassic Park. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah.
And then this also was John Goodman's first animated theatrical release. So I think he had done maybe some other like a voiceover work, but never done an animated film.
Ah, okay. I don't think this is a memorable one for him. I'll be honest. It feels like a lot of people don't even mention this movie in his
which is
catalog.
Sad because he was good. He was good in it. Yeah,
I enjoyed him. That was another positive I'll throw out there. Is John Goodman was good. So.
Yeah. All right, it's time for a fun fact trivia question. Are you ready?
Oh, I am ready. I hope I don't get eaten by a bunch of crows. We'll see what happens here.
I hope this makes sense. All right. So true or false again. True or false, some say actor John Malkovich was deemed too frightening as a villain and was let go, being recasted for this.
Well, who ended up as the villain was pretty frightening. He had a terrifying voice, too. It wasn't just the animation. They made sure to still have a guy that was pretty frightening. Man, that is a good one. If you made that up, if it's not true, because I'm leaning towards true. He seems like he would have been very sinister and menacing. As hard as that is to believe that he could be, I'm going to go with true.
It's true. And if anybody doesn't know who John Malkovich is, look him up because you'll be like, oh, yeah, he's terrifying.
Yeah. I totally, when you said that, I'm like, that's what I would probably do. I'll be like, you're a little too much, Mr. Malkovich. We might need to tone this down.
Very intense eyes and voice.
Yes. I wonder if they would have animated him like that too.
But good job. That's a harder question. I think that was a little bit rough.
I thought that was a good one. I'm like, you're going to maybe throw me a curveball there. So that's why I had to think about it for a minute, but it does make sense. It absolutely does make sense for sure. But I survived for now. I'm good to go on trivia. I can't explain what it is this season, but it's much more improved than the last season I had. So, okay. Well, we like to look around the net, just see what kind of thoughts are out there. So, Seth, what kind of reviews are you seeing for this film?
Well, the first one I found was Anna Mini 94 says, one word, bizarre, 5 out of 10.
Enough said, right? That's perfect. That is a perfect way to sum it. It is just bizarre. And if you see it, you'll see what we're talking about.
Yes. Cricket Bat said, definitely the lesser Steven Spielberg's dinosaur movies, 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is Amblin Entertainment. That was Spielberg's the studio. He had a lot of involvement in animation back then, but this was one that I think is kind of viewed as a lesser of his collection. And it says dinosaur, but I'd even put animated. Yeah, that's just
Critic Man 12 says a very weird and poor animated film, 1 out of 10.
Ooh, ouch. I agree with part of it. I think it's still well animated. If you look at some of the trailers, they look a little grainy, and that's just because it was 1993. The quality probably showing through. But if you watch this in a pretty good format, I think you can enjoy the animation. Again, we'll throw a positive out there. I enjoyed it, but maybe it's just a preference. But otherwise, yeah, I kind of agree with their thoughts otherwise. So
well, that's it.
Okay. Well, before we get to our review and rating, we like to put it through the kid test. Kind of hinted at it, and I'll just say this kind of terrified my children. I'm going to just say there was a lot of quiet.
How could it not? It terrified me.
This will terrify your children. This will terrify adults. Grandma is going to be like absolutely horrified.
Hiding in a closet.
Yeah, it's just like, wow. They did not... like I've brought out before in the past, when things get quiet, I know that they're either scared or there's something about it they're making them think. And there was a lot of quiet. As soon as they got to that circus, it was just quiet and a few questions here and there. And it's just, as a parent, I don't know, it was just really, really tough. So easy peasy. It's not going to pass a kid test on this one, not any shape or form. And they didn't have anything really to say about it afterward. I tried to get their thoughts. What'd you think? And it was just kind of like, what did I just watch? And this is coming from ages 10 and under. I have a 10-year-old, 8, 6, and a 3-year-old. And it was just like, and that's coming from kids. That says a lot. That's all I have to say. Well, there you go on the kid test, but we got to make it official. We got to give our stamp of our official rating. So Seth, going to start with you on We're Back, A Dinosaur Story. How are you going to rate it? Are you going to take it home? Are you going to watch it at grandma's? Or are you going to hide it in the attic?
So personally, I'm going to give this one a warning to parents. I think you should watch this before you put it on for your kiddos. This is definitely something your younger ones may not want to see or should not want to see. This movie was too scary, too dark, and then sometimes outrageously vulgar to begin with. So I will hide this so far in the attic, it's never going to scare any young ones ever anymore.
Yeah. I don't think that's any kind of spoiler of what you saw coming. As we were talking about this one, this is a tough movie to get through if you're expecting family friendly. I highly recommend, like you're saying, warning, watch this one first. That's a deceiving G. This is the most deceiving G I can recall, for sure. I don't know how, even back then it was different times, how I got a G rating. I really don't know. It's crazy how there's just so much in this, and it just makes you like, ooh, do that a lot. The first act, it had something going. Second act, oh my goodness, I don't ever want to watch that again. I am with you. I'm hiding this one in the attic. I mean, it's so intense. I almost want to go up in the attic because it's on a second floor. I don't know if people's attics are like that. I want to throw it out the window of the attic, watch it break on the pavement, go out there and stomp on it, and then bury it. And I know that sounds disrespectful. There's a lot of hard work in the animation and things, but the actual content of this movie, I don't ever want to like have any trace of it. It was a funny thing of, oh, I remember this movie. And then coming back to it, I felt deceived. I literally felt like the rug got ripped from under me. And you're feeling that, ow, you hit your back. That's how you feel after you watch this movie. Yeah. And it's a shame. Like we said, there's some good parts in here, but it's really overshadowed by those dark elements where we just, we're in unison. Cannot recommend this one. If you do want to try it out, just be warned. You're going to be in for an interesting experience.
Horrifying.
Oh, and maybe another positive is this was just over an hour runtime. So the plus side is it wasn't like 2 hours.
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
like 70 some minutes, isn't it?
It is. It's a shorter movie, but it felt long.
The third act, the second and third act,
It's one of those interesting experiences. Don't know what else to say. That's all I can really put it on is.
I'll say this. If you want to pay for your kids' future therapy bills, this is why. This is a horror movie for children.
I hope I don't have to do that. Yeah, it's something I'll have to address maybe later on in life. That'll be a traumatic experience. Maybe I'll be the one that needs therapy after this. We'll see. I don't know. All right. Well, there you go, folks. Another one in the books. And as odd as it sounds, this was a lot of fun because it did capture some nostalgia coming back to this. It's just a shame it was a different kind of experience. And I'll raise my hand on this. We have our list of movies that we have coming up we're going to consider. I was like, come on, let's consider this one, thinking this is going to be a nostalgic time. But here you go, folks. That's our thoughts, coming back to it and rewatching it in modern times. Feel free to drop us a line. Seth's going to bring that out here shortly on any recommendations, though. Like I mentioned, we have a list, but please give us any of your recommendations. We'd love to hear them. So before we go, Seth, why don't you tell the good people where they can find and connect with us?
So you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram at Movies at Grandma's House, and on TikTok at LADX Media. Feel free to email us any movie suggestions, memories, or comments to moviesatgrandmashouse@gmail.com. We have a very excellent newsletter. Check that out, as well as a new Patreon with exclusive content for loyal fans. And as always, we're brought to you by movieposters.com, so please use code Grandma's House, that's all one word, at checkout for up to 50% off.
Yeah, so Seth's mentioned our newsletter. Make sure you sign up because we have a giveaway once a month, a free movie poster from movieposters.com. That's just one of the perks, along with many other free goodies that are coming your way. Well, that's going to do it for our time at Grandma's House, but don't worry, we will be back soon. So in the meantime, remember to be kind and rewind. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.